go Revelation 16:16, which is basically the most concise War of Armageddon depiction. Grown by the next level. And life is our exercise machine. And it's a fun exercise machine when everything is going well. And it's not so fun when it's not. And there's all kinds of aches and pains with that. But we keep on wanting to come back. If we can hold on to that spark of wanting to come back from it, just getting through it, being able to get through it, and coming to terms with to give you help. Kathy has been put through the ringer by Mark and Sarah, by the influences. It's not that they're terrible people, it's that they've allowed certain influences take over part of their mind. For some kind of agenda that they won't probably admit to, if it's even conscious. And those said that is what happens to the students that fall away from the classroom. All of them, including myself, of course. To where it's almost impossible to recover from that because of the huge influence of the human kingdom, and rightfully so. And so that's not like a thought of, like a premeditated kind of thing, although maybe for some people it can be. But one wants to continue, and that happens to us in life, we latch onto. Rightfully so, because they're the most traumatic events, the most difficult events. Devastating to emotions. And the next level gives us help when we ask. That's the only reason any do survive. Survive meaning thrive in life. In all the ways that one chooses to. Knowing that their destination is true. And not judging themselves or others except by their behavior. And then calling out those who, I feel like when I say that, I said, and that's the part of me that there's still the religiosity and thinking on things in that limited perspective. The next level created all the religions, Tiendo said. Miles I've got to go. Oh, it's okay. I can see, without another device. I'm sure there is, I just don't know if I want to put the effort in to find it. But, Shreveport 20, okay. Shreveport, Pam Odie was originally from Shreveport. Pam Odie, I hope is still in her vehicle. We're going to have to meet Pam Odie with Kathy, I hope. Okay, 32 miles, so I can continue to talk. And when I say, hold somebody accountable, it's not them personally that I want to be accountable. I just don't want their influence to be on others and left in the record that what they said was like some statement from the ones that left the group. That's what Paul became, and I'm not thinking of Paul in a bad way. I don't think of Paul as a bad person. I think he had said that were good. Anyway, so it means the next level doesn't judge us by what a personality is made into, the personality that had experience with a member of the next level, whether they knew it or not. Actually, literally, whether they knew it or not, they are having an experience with an older member of the next level when they are in the presence of humans. And you can see that. I wonder how many vehicles are tagged that have, some fame and fortune in life, in the arts and things. It could actually be nothing that they're doing. It could be the next level cultivating a little chip that they put into. It's even activatable in the genetic code. So that they can, open up your mind a little bit by that. It's like giving a little more current to it, to that specific spot. A very fine, tailored way that they can do at a distance, wherever they are. Or maybe they have crews that have certain kinds of spacecrafts that provide the interface of the force that they're drawing on, because their force isn't solar, unless solar is actually, I just had the thought, with the thought of, and this doesn't seem misaligned, but that there could be another chief of chiefs. I like that. I don't know if that's from their mind, but I feel like I got that just now from them, because of what it does in my consciousness. Another chief of chiefs. Because I never had that thought before. For years and years and years I've been talking about the chief of chiefs. And never occurred to me, because Doe said that you wouldn't understand where the chief of chiefs came from until you were out of your human vehicle and you were a next level young member. Because the human brain doesn't have a chip for it. He didn't say that part, but it said it doesn't. But he did say the human brain doesn't have a. I don't know if he used the word program or it's like a program. It's like, different parts of the brain that can function on different parts of the anatomy and the mentality of the human consciousness and biological sphere, So, I'm philosophizing, I guess, with it. I'm adding lib to all the thoughts that were given to us. 1,000 hours, over 1,000 hours of thoughts from them. Vehicle doesn't. But it does. Kathy helped me get back to and Mark and Sarah, I know that maybe we can't talk, but since this is all public, we can, I think, still. But I know you got the rules with the courts. The lawyers don't want to talk about things. I'm not wanting to go into all kinds of details. I already have. In the last stream I did, I went into a lot of details about things. And this is a serious thing that you're doing, to want to control the information and also hide what you want people to do with it. Make it into a new age belief system and forming a religion around it. Giving people the truth and lowering the complete picture to fit a narrative you can stand for. This is, I think, the way I feel might be happening on some level, but mean, if your objective, Mark and Sarah, is to be in control of a little empire and only feeding people what they can handle in small doses, that they have to measure up to receive, the way you did with Kathy and others. Which I don't know that was a bad thing. I'm not the judge of that. That might have been what Doe wanted you to do at that point. I mean, you might have been doing what Doe wanted you to do anyway. Well, because he wants you to do what you want to do. That's the way he is with everybody. That's the way it is. You know, none of us would have anything if they didn't choose to draw us to them. Otherwise, nothing would. Evolution. That's what evolution is. It's going to be the creator. One with the creators. So it is the ultimate and thing you can do, and it's okay to come upon that with your behavior. I think it is. I mean, because, you know, I have a number of reasons why I say that, and I don't really want to get into that because it's not necessary at this time. But, and you know, people could say that, well, you know, you're justifying yourself. Well, now I'm going to block that out because I'm not going to, you know, battle the thoughts that come at me when I talk about this. My own influences, of course, that want to try to, you know, get me off track in some way. More than I am already, because it's, you know, I don't live in my life thinking, oh, I'm off track. No, let's get real. I'm off track for a reason. I mean, there's things to learn in this kingdom. And there's probably a couple of them, at least, that I need to learn. So, you know, and like Doe said, you know, service is I forgot his exact words. Opens the door, keeps the door open, working for the next level, because there's a certain sacrifice for working for the next level, because the lower forces are very powerful when they're given power. They're not powerful when they're not given power. So, and it's really nobody else's business where we are on the spectrum of how much we're giving to the next level, because the next level is not judging us that way. They take advantage of all growth. Nothing's wasted, he said. I was reminded of that, and Kathy was reminded of that. I mean, I'm reminding, not that I don't need to. Kathy's got a good, strong mind. And reminded of the tape where Doe said that, but I kind of lost the track of where I was going there. I wander off. But I do want to get back to Revelation 16:16. That is the Armageddon description. It's a war for souls. As you can see, it's in the battleground of the Middle East, where the heaven was at the time. The heaven being that New Jerusalem spacecraft. In my opinion. I don't know what Doe said about that. I bet he said a lot of things that are in those last 100 tapes that Mark and Sarah are trying to get out of making available to a court decision. And they presented a falsified list. Talk about lies. I mean, they think these are like white lies to them. They're not real lies. Because our agenda is so great. They're going to save people's lives. That's what they told the court. When they don't hear more from T and Doe. Suicide for the human kingdom. So, go figure. Go figure. That's not a very good thing to do right now when you have a vehicle that can learn a lot of lessons. Dealing with this world. Dealing with being in this world and loving it. Kathy loves the earth. And I think loving the earth is like beautiful. I love the earth also. I do. Gosh. You know, I mean, it's the concept of it that, yeah, it's because it's the earth, you know, I think of it, well, I don't need to, you know, I don't think of it in the spiritual part of it, even though the spirit is part of it, of course, because all the humans and everything's got vibration, right? Don't all the elements have polarity? It's amazing. It's amazing. It's a complete electromagnetic database upon database, above database, to the nth degree of numbers. I mean, it's unbelievably believable to me. It's unbelievably believable. And I used to go by Stephen Believin on Facebook. That's the name I used while I think that's kind of silly, right? I never really liked it. I just couldn't figure out a better way to say it. So Mark and Sarah chose to have this battle. I mean, they would say that by using the tapes, we were starting the battle. By not going with their instructions from Tiendo, not abiding by them. And what were they? That they would choose to divide the materials in the way they chose to do it. That's the kink. That's part of the kink, I think, in their heads. That's rightfully so in a sense, because to the degree that they would choose to take it. But if they didn't ask again at each step of the way from their actions, which I'm not really condemning, I'm not condemning them for. I don't do it. I'm not going to claim to be like morally above them. It doesn't. It's not for me to measure that. I don't even need to go there. It's stupid. But so, I mean, we can have a debate. You know, I'd like to have an open debate on Zoom or on whatever. And I'm not saying that. They're not going to do that. I'm going off a little bit here now, so it's, maybe I'm being obnoxious or something right now. But I mean, I'm just speaking my heart, that if you want to have a fight, like, that's what they wanted in the preliminary injunction. That's a tactic. But, you know, you love me, but, you know, take everything to the tactical hilt. You couldn't actually have an agreement that Kathy tried to forge. Not the autonomy that you had over all the material. And that's what you said in the Gizmodo article. So I went and looked it up. Where you said that you own all, I don't know which word you used, all the Heaven's Gate intellectual property was yours. Was given to you. To manage and take care of and distribute and disseminate. And it's true in some ways, except for all the duplicate copies. That were given to Juan Odie and Rick Odie. And Rick Odie was given the most in the letter. That might have been the personal letter. So Mark and Sarah got that too, not just Rick Odie's letter. Because Mark and Sarah got the personal letters. that they were going to help it they were going to regulate what was coming to the public. Because if you leave it with T being there, it's probably pretty safe to say that it's a lot easier to handle in some ways for the general public. So it could be like a foundation of and so what I'm witnessing now is, I don't know, I got this little picture, is that this, so what takes over the information that's part of the government ends up mutating into governments. So in other words, the religion past takes over the information that somehow mixes in with the leaders of the previous religion that had become popularized. I don't know, I was just getting this picture of, geez, I'm going too fast. I'm gonna get a ticket. Tawakoni exit. Okay, I just gotta pay attention a little bit to the directions. Okay, so I should have put more light on this, I guess. That's too much, though. Too close to my face. I'm just gonna stick with the why couldn't you bring us into a movie deal? I mean, what's to be harmed by having somebody that believes in everything that, even knowing that they were always doing things top of my screen. I see you there. Oh, maybe maybe they got a hacker. It's a solar thing. Someone, Stephen Burns was saying that something just did occur that he actually was expecting. Okay, so I guess I'm sorry, folks, that if anybody's still here. I can turn that off. But I'm home, so I guess hopefully something I said. You can leave me comments. I don't get that many, so I can keep up with them. I don't get many at all, really, which is good. I mean, it's not good. It doesn't, because I don't know if I can get to too many anyway because of time constraints. But, so good night, folks.